Hello everybody, Brock the Best here, coming back to you with another video. Now I told you guys that there would be a surprise video today, and this is it. So, yes, I told you guys, anyways, here's the story. I bid on something on eBay, I got it for very cheap, and I'm here to show it to you guys today, to see what y'all think, and to see if any of y'all have this figure. But anyways, let's show the surprise. Yes. Now, I'm not exactly sure what to call this. Marvel Legends, no, not Marvel Legends, 6-inch scale Iron Man movie 6-inch action figure series, 6-inch Monger 6-inch action. I've said 6-inch like 4 times. 6-inch Monger movie, Iron Man movie figure series. I don't know. There are a lot of conflicting names on this figure, and really, a lot of people just call this Marvel Legend because it's easier than saying 6-inch Iron Man movie series Ironmonger. But really, nobody really knows. I mean, people know, but just they just don't say it because it's way too long, and it's not known if this is an official Marvel Legend or not. But people just consider it a Marvel Legend. And I guess I will too. Now, I got this figure for $10.85 on eBay, and yeah, so won the bid for that, and I thought that it was pretty good, you know, I thought that it was, and for the most part, I got this figure, it arrived in the afternoon, so when I got home from school, I took it out of the box, I was posing a little bit, and I'm just trying to get used to the figure, you know, seeing how it works, the mechanics, and, you know, just the articulation, because this is a very interesting figure. Now, this is not an official Marvel Legend, so, at least I don't think it is. So, you know, Marvel Legends, it really focuses more on, you know, screen accuracy, and you don't see a lot of Marvel Legends with play gimmicks. Actually, I don't know about any Hasbro Marvel Legends that have play gimmicks. I mean, like Toy Biz, I know what the Archangel did. It had that like firing thing, and you know, Toy Biz had some play gimmicks on theirs, but I don't think that Hasbro does. But this is one that does have some play features that I don't 100% necessarily understand, and it's very like essential to the articulation too. So if you just move the figure around, you'll notice that a lot of the joints move. There are some joints that don't move, and I don't know if it's just because this figure is old or what. There are some joints that move, like all of the joints, and some joints that just don't move. So, watch. I take this arm and I move it up, then the other one moves up. And I think that one's not too bad, because then you can still individually, like, rotate. Well, not really. You can't have this arm up while the other one is down, but you can still rotate and move the arm out individually and everything. And that's not too bad. I mean, for what it looks like, the figure looks really good. I think if it just had a little bit more paint, if Hasbro did this version of a figure today, they would execute it really well. But if you look on the back, it's paintless. There are only, like, I don't know, a few different paints used on this figure, but this figure is old, so I can understand that. But the mold on this figure is, as much as confusion I'm giving this figure, and, you know, I might be ranting about it a little bit, it has got a very, very nice sculpt. I mean, like, look at the detail on that. If this had some more paint, this would be absolutely awesome. One of the top figures in my collection. And I still probably like this figure a little bit more than, I don't know, like a few other figures that I have. And he looks really good. From the camera, the gray, I don't know how the gray is going to look. So far, it's looking okay. It's looking better than it does right now. I mean, I wish that this gray was a little bit different. But I cannot get over the sculpt. The sculpt on this figure looks amazing. Now, back to the articulation that I was talking about. So you move this arm up and down, and you know, I can get past that. But it's with the legs that I'm really confused about. So if you move this, if you move the torso like this, you see the arms go up and down, but the leg, this leg also moves. Now, I can't like move this leg to like an actual pose. This one right here, I can't move it. This is not like a ball joint, like your regular ball joint. This is something like with the play gimmick where the legs move in and out. Do you see that? So I don't know. That's not really, I'm not 100% about that. This one I can move a little better, but it doesn't move like you think that a ball joint would move. I can only move it like this. Thigh joint and everything, like this part. This one I can just not move from like the cross and the ball joint. But as for leg articulation, it's all single joints. There are no double joints on this, which is fine. You know, a lot of Black series are single joints, so, but we have the single jointed leg. We have the feet. I feel like the legs on this figure are some really great sculpt. So you have the single jointed legs, move about that far. The feet, they have some great articulation on the feet. Moves up and down. It does not have a pivot, but you know, I guess that's kind of understandable. So when you pose this figure, you got to make sure that your feet, I don't know if you really care about it, but if your feet stay on the ground, then you got to make sure that you got it into some sort of pose. But detail-wise, this figure looks good. There are not a lot of reviews on this figure. Shartimus Prime didn't review it. I know Glenn Webb did a comparison between this one and the comic version that was released with the Iron Man 3 wave. So, yes, but look at just the sculpting on this figure is impressive. Hasbro went all out on the sculpting, even the hands. If it just had a little bit more paint, and this, you can see this paint right here, that looks a little off. But if it just had a little bit more paint, this could be an amazing figure. It could truly just knock it off. And, okay, alright, one other thing is the scale. Now, Ironmonger, in the movies, you see Ironmonger, he's a big, beefy fella. You know what I'm saying? The suit is large, it's bulky, and it's tactical type. Now, Hasbro, they nailed the sculpt, but a lot of people are conflicted with the scale of this figure to modern Marvel Legends. 6-inch scale action figure lines released by Hasbro. Some of them you could make them fit into your Marvel Legends self, like with the proper angle and posing and everything. They could look really good with your Marvel Legends self. And this one, I've seen a lot of people work this into their displays. Mike the Hunter, he got this figure sent to him by a fan, and it looks really good in his display. Now, the scale on this figure is off. Let's take, here, I got this Iron Man 3 Disco Armor Iron Man figure that is that came with the Iron Man versus Mandarin pack. And if you look at that, that looks off. You can just see something there ain't right. Because if you will, I was watching, after I had placed a bid on this figure and I figured out that I'd won. I totally did not expect to win. But after I figured out that I'd won, I watched the Ironmonger versus Iron Man battle at the end of the movie. I watched it online. And you could see that Ironmonger was bigger than Iron Man. Like, considerably bigger. This seems more, Ironmonger, the figure is bulky. I'll give you that. The figure is very bulky and great sculpt, but the scale is one that you have to question. Let me quickly just, let me take a photo. Let me show you guys a photo of Ironmonger. Alright, but if you just look at that really quick. Let's see, Ironmonger. But just to show you a little comparison. Alright, here we go. Here is Ironmonger next to, sorry about that pink line on the screen, it's something with the ribbon. Here is Ironmonger next to the Iron Man movie 1 suit inside of there and everything. You can see, even though Ironmonger is standing on a bit of like a higher like ledge type stuff, you can still see that the armor is bigger than that of the figure. That's the Hot Toys one. You can see that the armor is larger than that of Iron Man. Now, you could look past that. I can look past it in my display, but that's just something that's really noticeable. And I know during SDCC, people were asking questions like, could Hasbro remake an Ironmonger figure? Or, you know, like an Abomination and stuff like that. And I would be into that because getting a new Ironmonger would be great. Now, that probably won't take Hasbro another year or so or something. I don't know. But, either way, this Ironmonger can work in your display. I think it's going to work in mine. And I think my ZD Toys War Machine is coming tomorrow. So I could do a comparison with that. But yeah, there he is. There he is. Okay. But overall, Sculpt is really good. Paint is so-so. I wish they would have painted it a little more. Scale, it's questionable, but you can look past it. So I think I'm going to give this figure a 3.5. Or a 3. 4 is pushing it a little. 5 is definitely pushing it. But for what it is, I think I really like this figure. I like the bulkier MCU movie figures, especially with the Iron Man armors. I like to look at them, admire them next to the shelf, and just make them look good. Now on to the signature part of my videos. It's the display part. Y'all know in probably every single Marvel Legends video I do, I have to showcase putting the figure on the display. Okay, let me get this camera set up. Alright, so here it is. You can see we got that binary Katmar up there. And I think she's growing on me a little bit. I know that I was sounding a little so-so on the review or the, you know, just the showcase and whatever, but I think that she is alright. She really looks good next to the other figures on my MCU shelf. Sorry, excuse me. And now, let me get you guys on right over here. Again, not too much has changed, because really the last time y'all saw me, it wasn't that long ago. So, not too much could have changed. And tomorrow, I'm going to try to finish the lights on this shelf and get them running all the way down to the cosmic side, so I can just finish this off, you know. Because the light is one thing that I always say that I'm gonna finish, but then I never finish. So soon I will. Now here's where the articulation on this figure, I'd give it a 3. I mean, it really could be better, and it's really confusing to figure out all the gimmicks and stuff. And you really have to use the gimmicks to work with you while you're posing this figure. And that can really it can really lead to some confusion. You really got to finick around with it in order to get it into the poses that you want. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep him in this pose. You can't get him into a lot of the dynamic poses that you see him, well, sort of dynamic, that you see him with in the movies. But you can make it look accurate, realistic. There's a little comparison of him next to the Hulkbuster if y'all want to see that. Next to the Hulkbuster, he scales. Okay, I think that's realistic though. I don't think Ironmonger was bigger than I think the Hulkbuster was bigger than Iron Man. Not by too much. I mean, by Ironmonger. Not by too much, but I feel like that's a considerable difference right there. And just the scale with this figure, it's confusing because I measured it next to a 3.75-inch figure, and it looked to be too big for that line. But I also, next to the 6-inch figures, he appears to also be a little large. So, really, scale is a question with this one. I think I'm going to put him right there for now. Like that. Or... Nah, I think I like the pose that I had before. Alright. Now, but I do like this figure. I like it. It's definitely not terrible. It's not trash. It's not 100% there. But it's an old figure, and I think it looks really good. I got this used. It didn't come in. It just came in like a bubble wrap and everything. And I think I'm going to put him right there for now. The Iron Man movie section is going right there. So I think I'm going to have him right there. Maybe later on I'll switch it up and he'll be elevated a little bit. But that's when I get some more figures going on. And I figure out what to do with this open space. Molten Man will go right over here. So this is really like the big boys in my MCU collection. If you notice over here, look over here, I don't have any Build-A-Figures in my Cosmic section. And, you know, really this side is what has most of the Build-A-Figures or Build-A-Figure inspired molds like Hulkbuster, M'Baku, Giant Man once it gets over there. Thanos, I guess, is a Build-A-Figure inspired mold. Molten Man once I finish him. You also got Corvus Glaive, who's kind of leading towards the Earth side, even though this is really more neutral. But all these guys have been to space. Yeah, all of the Avengers have been to space, so they can stay in the middle. Still love that worthy Captain America, looks good. And that Thanos is looking good also. But Ironmonger, and for what he is, I think that he looks good. And I also got to pose this guy. I took him off the shelf so I could compare him to the rest of the guys. But let's just put him like that for now. And yeah, guys. Ironmonger. So I'm going to turn off the lights. And for the rest of the video, just look at the sphere with the light. Different lights. Yeah. There's the plain white light. Looks good in that. Blue, green. That one's blue. That one looks good. Red, kind of a villain type. You can't really see him that well in that, but that villain vibe going on. Yeah, that's what I had before. Alright guys, but he is looking good. And once my ZD Toys War Machine comes, he'll be around there. And we're still looking for that Mysterio, guys. We're gonna find him. We're gonna find him. We will. We will. Let me give a couple of, well, I don't know if I can give shout-outs. I don't really know who to. But also, go subscribe to Comic Monster Studios. Go subscribe to, I'm just trying to name you guys out here. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you all later. Comment what you think of the Ironmonger figure. And yeah. So see y'all. Brock of the best. Ooh, thunder in the background. That really fits in with this villain role. Out.